What's good, BP Squad, and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna go over one of the most important aspects, at least in my humble opinion, and that is boxing footwork. Now, footwork is extremely essential when it comes to setting up shots, making sure you have enough power on your shots as well. More importantly, it plays a critical role in maintaining balance as well as stability. Guys, if I was hosting a boxing training camp, then footwork would be my primary focus. Now, in my opinion, footwork is one of the least studied and undervalued concepts when it comes to boxing. So if you guys are looking to get into boxing, or maybe you might be a vet, then please utilize this video, as this video will give you a great foundation for your boxing footwork. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and break down boxing footwork. But before we start, let's make sure we have a solid stance. Now for me, I fight out of the southpaw stance. So meaning my left hand is in the back, my right hand is forward. Key things you want to look out for when you're in your stance, guys. You want to make sure you have a slight bend in your knees. You don't want to be straight up like this because you're not going to generate a lot of power. And it's going to be hard for you to move. And you don't want to have your knees too bent like this because you're going to be wasting a lot of energy. So a slight bend in your knees. For me, I'm not square. I try to make sure my shoulder is lined up with my opponent because it serves as an extra layer of protection for me. Also have your elbows tucked and your chin tucked. Now I always imagine a line that runs from my big toe of my front foot to the heel of my back foot. You don't want to be parallel and you don't want to have this leg too off center. So a slight bend in your knees, everything tucked. Imagine that line from here to here. And there you go, that's a solid boxer stance. Now from here we're going to talk about moving forward and backwards. Now 55% of my weight is on my back leg. The other 45% is on my front leg, okay? So as we get ready to move forward, we're essentially shifting, or should I say propelling ourselves from our back leg, okay? For that split second, most of your weight is shifted towards your back foot as you begin to spring forward. Now before we move forward, let's make sure we avoid these mistakes. As you move forward, guys, you want to avoid your feet getting too close and being too wide, okay? Make sure to have a good distance between, and as you move, we're going to move forward for two. Step and step, okay? Another thing, you want to make sure that you're not coming up like this. Also, not dragging your foot. Let your foot glide across the ground. See how I'm gliding my foot? Okay? I'm not taking big steps. I'm not taking small steps. Nice, equal steps. If I want to take a bigger step, I can essentially go like this. I'm kind of lunging or springing forward. Now let's talk about going backwards. Notice how we move forward. Most of our weight shifts from our front to our back. Now we're gonna go backwards, and now our weight goes from our front to our back. So again, that 55% gets a higher percentage as we move back. Again, let's do it again. Boom, boom. Making sure your feet don't get too close, not too wide, and you don't wanna have too much weight like this far forward, unless you have a setup shot. So we're gonna move forward for two, two for back as well. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now say for instance we're sparring, right? Or we're getting ready to fight. I'm not gonna cover the ground so much by doing this. I might just go like this. Boom. Just have a certain rock or a certain rhythm to my stance, okay? Let's talk about moving laterally or side to side. Lateral movement is one of the most difficult forms of footwork when it comes to boxing. So as we're moving laterally, or you can say side to side, I'm gonna be moving to my left, you guys is right. For me, as I step to my left, I'm pushing off my front leg and I'm letting my left foot lead like this, okay? When you're going to your left, think about it like this. Left, left foot leads. Right, right foot leads. Okay, so I'm stepping, stepping. Right now, right foot leads, left foot follows. Right foot lead, left foot follows, okay? You wanna make sure you avoid this right here. See, I'm crossing my feet. If I get caught with a shot, you got knocked the f out, man. Going down because I'm off balance. And again, if I'm too wide, I'm not having a lot of leverage on my punching. You might find a side a little more difficult to move. For me, I wanna say, moving to my left it feels a little more difficult. So to fix that or to make that a little bit more comfortable, what I do is this, I add a little rock to it. When you're first starting out, you might not have that rock to you. You might be moving like this. Feels stiff, and it might even look stiff. But guys, remember, you're just starting out. You're in your stance, practice by just throwing feints. You want to have a certain rhythm to yourself, but you also want to make sure your rhythm isn't memorized by your opponent. Throw your opponent off. So you rock, you might throw some hand feints, you might feint to them, okay? You might step, all of that stuff. That's why I say boxing footwork is essential. Master footwork, guys, because if you master footwork, then you'll probably be one of the best boxers in your weight division or perhaps in the entire boxing realm. And moving side to side is extremely difficult. It takes time. So you gotta make sure you guys practice, practice, and practice. With that being said, let's focus on moving forward, back, and side to side. We're gonna do 3 each. 3 forward, 3 back, 3 side to side. We're in our stance. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Moving back. 1, 2, 3. Moving to my left. You guys is right. 1, 2, 3. Moving to my right. You guys is left. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Again, having solid footwork is essential in boxing. Let's talk about the mistakes one more time. You want to make sure your feet don't get too close. You're not too wide. As you move side to side, don't cross. Don't be too off center. Now let's talk about an honorable mention mistake. Let's say, for instance, I'm moving to my left. As I move, let's say my feet look a little more parallel. That's fine. As long as you're not directly like this, of course not like that. You want to just make sure you guys have good balance and stability. So as you move to check it, slip, slip, bob and weave. And one more thing, as you guys move, if you're finding yourself having to adjust your feet, or you might be like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and make that adjustment, then that's when you know you have to practice your footwork a bit more. You should be practicing anyway, but you want to avoid those mistakes as much as possible. Even if they're eensy-weensy small mistakes, try to make sure your footwork is polished and well-formed. So we're moving again, taking that one step, you add the slip, add your feints, all of that, stepping back to my left again, slip, slip, all of that stuff. I might move forward, might move back, boom, boom. And as you guys begin to flow a lot more, your footwork, let's say for instance you're in the ring, right? You might be boom, boom, all of this stuff, okay? Having fun. Boxing footwork is like dancing, guys. Have fun, express yourself as you're doing this. Moving forward, moving back, boom. I might pivot, which we'll talk about in a separate video, talking about pivoting and other boxing fundamentals you guys should have under your belt. But other than that, guys, that's boxing footwork in a nutshell. Very simple. Move forward, move back, move side to side. Master all of it to make yourself a complete boxer as well as fighter. You'll take yourself to the next level if you follow these basic fundamentals down to a T, okay? But guys, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Smash the like button. Don't forget to make sure you are properly subscribed with the notification bell turned on as usual. I'll see you guys next video. Peace and love. Next Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Peace.